Hello there. The UK, French and EU authorities have been unable to smash their own people trafficking gangs, so a group of Brits has decided to do it for them, says The Sun. And we're running a poll to see if you are criminally minded and support the destruction of the boats and engines on the French beaches, or not. And one group of Brits on the beaches has reported finding smashed boat engines and ripped rubber dinghies. And there is talk of a new Operation Overlord. How come a few Brits on the French beaches can do what the authorities cannot do? Anyway, here's what The Sun says, commenting on it. Beach Patrol. British vigilantes film themselves smashing migrant boat engines on French beaches to stop crossings.
Oh.
Dunkirk prosecutors said they have received complaints about the group and cops are investigating. Good grief. Wonderful. And then it goes on to say, vigilantes who led the push to cover our streets in Union flags have filmed themselves smashing small boat engines hidden on French beaches. The Raise the Colours activists are trying to stop would-be migrants from crossing the channel. Yeah, so there you go. What do you reckon, Richard?
Well, Jeff, what a bunch of rotters. I mean, we at the Jeff Taylor channel would never endorse such activity whatsoever under any circumstances. No. No, because, I mean, apparently, according to the Sun, they're vigilantes and they could be, they could be criminals. But I suppose that's a matter of opinion. I mean, I suppose it's a matter of have they actually broken the law? That's the question. If they haven't broken the law. But, I mean, I find it quite strange that if these people are going out, and I won't mention any names at all, of course, but if these people have gone from Britain to protect Britain from, people coming over who are from demographics we don't know, backgrounds we don't know, if they are doing this terrible deed of protecting the United Kingdom in such a way, without the support and nod and say so from the authorities, then it does make one wonder why the French the French authorities are getting a bit worried about it. I mean, because obviously it's because these Brits will be getting in the way of the investigations by the French authorities, who are, as we know, highly successful at stopping the boats crossing the channel. So, I mean, we should not be and never condone men who go out to stop criminality in this country and doing it in foreign lands, getting in the way of the highly successful French authorities. And our incredible Prime Minister, our beloved Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who we know has been highly successful himself in his own right at smashing the gangs. Yes, but apparently there are some chaps, I'm not saying it's these same chaps, wouldn't be saying that for a moment, that are now saying that they don't believe that there are any gangs. Oh, I say that these things are just there. I mean, the sort of insinuation and potential there is that these boats are being put on by the establishment and the French government themselves in collusion with our own government. I don't know, though, Jeff.
Either that, Richard. Yeah.
Yes.
Either that, Richard, or someone's been out there planting rubber dinghy seeds on the beaches and rubber and engine seeds, and they're growing and sprouting up amongst the dunes. I mean, that can be the other explanation, can't it? And of course, the French authorities are going to investigate this errant group of Brits because they've received complaints about their activities. Here's what the Express says. The vigilantes' controversial actions have sparked a heated debate over the Channel migrant crisis as tensions mount over the relentless flow of boats and the apparent inability of authorities on both sides of the Channel to find a solution. So, yes, they don't like it either. It's all a bit much. And I have to wonder if the UK, French and EU government funded NGOs and the taxpayer-funded transport and hotel contractors and their shareholders are getting a bit worried about the loss of income and have therefore been making the complaints. But the sale of replacement dinghies and boat engines might tick up a bit. And if someone leaves dinghies loitering about on the sand, obviously put there for nefarious purposes, well, what do you expect to happen, Richard?
Well, what if these NGOs, I mean, hypothetically, let's just go down conspiratorial route. Silliness, just a bit of silliness here, of course, nothing serious. But what if these NGOs are even in collusion with our own government and far left-wing organisations, and also in collusion with potentially the owners of hotels or other belief systems who would like to see, I'm not saying what, enter this country? What if they're putting the boats there, the dinghies? Ah, that's silly. That's silly talk. We'll have none of that on the Jeff Taylor channel, I'll have you know. No. No, it couldn't possibly be that, could it, Jeff?
No.
But
I just have to point out this comment here from Champagne Monologues. They made it very clear the boats had already been cut up when they found them. And that's what I said in the second sentence, whatever, that they found them. That, they found them. Who destroyed them, we don't know. All it is that it's alleged that it's a group of Brits that did it. Yes.
Well, I mean, there could
Brits?
be some... Yeah, well, exactly. It could be... I mean, the thing is, people are saying it's Brits. What if it was the French? What if it was the French? There could be, what do you call it? Oh, good grief. What are those people what were they called in a lower low? Do you remember? What were they called? The
French resistance.
That's it, the resistance, yes. I knew they weren't a real group of people that were active. They were just some people in a lower low, a television series, if some of you are a little young to remember, that was on in the 80s and 90s, and it was jolly splendid. Yes, but what if it is somebody from a lower, I mean the French resistance, who are going along and slashing the boats themselves? Yeah, I mean the people.
It would be a Brit spy dressed up as a gendarme going in there with all his language inability that came with it from Allo Allo. Do you remember that? Yes. Yeah. For all you youngsters out there, you need to look up Allo Allo and have a real good laugh. Yes. Here we go. Honesty, Truth, and Truth, RE7DB, thank you very much. President Ronald Reagan in the 80s, when lucid, said the most chilling words are, I am from the government and I'm here to help you. Jobs, lockdowns, ID nonsense, twaddle, don't comply. Well, he did say it as a joke, didn't he? So, yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yes,
well, I just want to jump in. Just want to jump in with this one. That Groucho Mark, my George, says the French locals should be disabling these dinghies. Now, here's an idea. An idea. There must be many thousand people along the French coast who would rather appreciate a new dinghy engine. You can imagine them, couldn't you? I want to replace my old one and get a new one. What if they were given the legal power to seize any boat engines they see in the sand dunes and also destroy the useless, unseaworthy dinghies, reporting their location to the authorities for removal and dispersal, and as long as no one claims them, they get to keep the motor. That way they get the beaches patrolled at zero cost and the boats removed. What's not to like?
Yeah, but anyway, no, the fact of the matter is, French locals, when you think about it, they're not going to be wanting to disable the dinghies. They're wanting those dinghies to get across as quick as possible because their towns and villages are filling up with persons unknown. And they want to get them across the channel to us so that we can welcome them in because we're such a welcoming and lovely, wonderful, inclusive country.
But one of the mayors over there, the mayors of one of the local town, Gravelines, he said ages ago that if we don't stop the boats ourselves, that's in France, all these people will keep topping up our towns and our beaches and our villages along the coast forever. and we'll never get rid of them. If we stop the boats ourselves, they won't bother coming. And he's right. It's really important. It's actually to the French people, it's to their advantage to tell their powers that be to stop them even getting into France in the first place. Have a strong French border. And if they can't manage that, have a strong EU border to stop them coming across. After all, the EU border has been weaponised against the UK, hasn't it, in Northern Ireland? Now they are expecting us to fill all sorts of forms in just to go over to France or whatever and have biodata and all these things. So if it works against us, why doesn't it work against anyone else who hasn't even got a passport? What a bunch of nerks they are, aren't they?
Yes, and before we go any further, I've got something very serious to say. Some of you have not pressed the like button on this video. And that's very rude of you. I say, very rude. Press the like button with immediate effect. Go on, do it. Do it. You know you want to. It's a lovely little button. When you press that button, I believe there's a release of endorphins in the brain that you will experience. It'll be one of the most fantastic. Go on, press the like button. I dare you. If you want an even better release of endorphins, you actually subscribe to the channel. That's a big thing to do. And if you want the complete euphoric Nirvana moment, you become a channel member. All for the price of a pint of beer in a London pub or coffee in, I don't know, Covent Garden, whatever. Carry on, Jeff.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you, Jonathan Aldridge. I remember Allo Allo. It was before my time, but it's basically a programme taking the mickey out of France during World War II, and the French policeman in the programme is actually British. Yeah, he's actually not a French, but he's a British spy policeman. That's why his accent was so bad. It's long and complicated, but it's an excellent, totally excellent programme.
I remember the first episode. It was wonderful.
Yeah. There you go.
And it was all good-hearted. They couldn't make that today. You'd be accused of racism if you did that.
Yeah.
Today, just or cultural appropriation. Oh, shut up. Stupidness. I've had enough of this stupid bloody nonsense. Cultural appropriation. What's another thing I keep on hearing? Cultural racism. What the what's cultural racism? How can you be culturally racist? You might be prejudicial against a culture, but how on earth can you be culturally racist? Absolute drivel. I've never heard anything so stupid in all my life. I've had enough of all this crap. Jeff, I really am at the end of it. But anyway, there's a certain gentleman who they say is involved in this going over to France. And
yes.
just read out what he put out on YouTube.
While you're reading it out, I can put that up for you if it's the same guy.
I'm sure it is, Jeff.
That you're talking about. If it's something to do with him.
Well, it could be something to do with him. Yes. What does he say there now? Go on.
Oh, up on this one. This is a tweet put out by Danny Tomo. This is what protecting your families, your daughters, your sons, and your homeland looks like. Hashtag Operation Overlord. Now, there's a picture
Overlord
of him and
2.
a couple of other guys. And what looks like some ripped up rubber. I don't know what it is, but you get the idea.
Bin day.
And he also put out a post on YouTube. So if YouTube has allowed this post, then we'll show it to you what he said.
No, Jeff, hang on a sec. No, this is not, and these are not on French beaches. That's bin day in Birmingham, that is.
Oh, dear me. Oh, dear. Yeah, it's not as bad as bin day in Birmingham.
This is true.
Here's the post.
Go on, you read it out. I know you like to read stuff.
All right.
I know you read it out. Go on. I'll you do.
Go on,
you love a good read.
From Danny Tomo, 4 hours ago when I did this about 6 hours ago. Operation Overlord. Stab-proof vests needed. Hello, everyone. Firstly, thank you for all the messages of support. It truly means the world. The countdown is now on for our biggest operation yet in France. The next one isn't just another patrol. We're going in fully kitted, ready to dominate the beaches for weeks on end. Today, I'm buying everything needed.
Right, pause a second. Pause.
Here you go.
Jeff. Pause.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay,
pause,
so what it is? This is what this is about. I mean, my interpretation of this is they're just getting a load of lads there to go on holidays at the beach. A bit of camping, maybe. That sort of thing. Just
Yeah.
A couple of British lads dominating the beaches, like you do. You go down to the beach, you plonk your towel down. You're not going to have somebody else putting their towel down there. No German towels, no French towels, no Spanish towels. No, it's the British towel that's going on down there, and they're going to have the deck chairs. We're taking the deck chairs. We're taking back our real estate in terms of sea view. Carry on, Jeff.
Yeah, Pax Stella, deck chairs, beach volleyball. Yes. There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, what he says, he's going prepared, and he's going to buy a lot of stuff. And here we are. Military spec high power torches, 2,000 to 3,000 lumens plus strobe. Handheld thermal imagers. Spot them 800 meters out in the pitch black. Stab proof and slash resistant vests. Covert plate carriers with level 4 plates. Drones, encrypted radios, night vision headlamps, power stations, dry bags, IR patches, and a ton of other mission-critical kit. We're transforming from a handful of lads with balls of steel into a proper professional civilian border force. But the clock is ticking, and the bill is big. Yeah, I bet it is for that lot, that's for sure.
Yeah, pause that right there. Put that back up. I just want to look at this here a second. Put it back up, please, Jeff. Yeah, so stab-proof vests. Okay, military spec high power torches. So they're going for a night out in London then, are they? That's what they're doing. That's what you need for a night out in London. Yeah, I mean, none of this is
right.
what I would call over the top, really. I mean, it's just, okay, I think that's quite reasonable, I suppose, for a night out. But I mean, for anything else, I couldn't say what those things, balls of steel. You would be if you were going to Soho for a night out or certain parts of London or in Birmingham. Yeah. You definitely need balls of steel for that, to go out and do that. But I can't. Yes. Now, some of you might think I'm taking the mickey out of this. I'm not. But if you were in my position, you'd be wording things exactly like I am right now for certain reasons. Okay, so I carry on, Jeff, because, of course, Jeff and myself, we are not endorsing anything in any way, shape, or form. We're just reporting on what we are seeing, what's coming through in the news and on social media. That's all we're doing, just for you to know. There we go.
Yes.
Carry on, Jeff.
And he continues with this. Every single donation gets us safer and more effective. If you want this invasion stopped, back the only people actually out there stopping it. Smash the link and chip in whatever you can today. Nothing is too small. Donate here. And there's a link. Now,
signed Keir Starmer.
We couldn't possibly condone anyone donating anything to anyone who's breaking the law. But if you don't think they're breaking the law...
No. That's totally different. Anyway, people know that. We're not endorsing any law breaking in any way, shape or form. I can see why some people may get a little bit sympathetic towards a cause where people are stopping the criminals entering our country. But everything has to be done always within the remit of British law. And we couldn't say anything possibly other than that on this platform anyway. So that's all there is to be said in the matter. Over to you, Jeff. Over to you.
Yeah, it's quite funny. He finishes, thank you from every single one of us on the ground. England prevails, Danny Tomo. Now, one thing I will point out, a lot of people say, he's doing things illegally or not or whatever. But bear in mind that in French waters, the ability, or when you take a boat out to sea, especially one that's going to cross an international border, there are rules in place about how seaworthy that vessel has to be, and the qualifications that the person on the tiller has to have. So, and they seem to me, I'm no expert on French law, but they appear to me to be breaking those laws. And if they use anything over a certain engine size, they need a license anyway. So if they're breaking those laws and people are on the beaches stopping them breaking those laws, then who is breaking the law? Yeah, just a question.
Well, exactly.
Just bear that in mind. Just bear that in mind.
But we don't want any sort of... We don't want to be encouraging people to keep Britain safe in any way, shape or form. Preventing, terrible attacks on our women and children in this country. We don't want to be preventing that from happening by stopping these boats. Under no circumstances would we on the Jeff Taylor channel encourage such a thing in any way, shape or form. But we may report on it. That is all we would do, of course. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you, the Black Nothing. Can't give many super chats today. Well, everything's, thank you very much for what you do.
Absolutely.
But just wanted to say that when the governments turn against the people, the safest hands will be your own. Good on those lads for stopping Kia's boats. Yeah, well, I would say they're everybody from, I don't know, Tony Blair onwards boats.
No, these now are Kia's boats. These runs right crossing right now are Kia's boats. And the thing is, they need to be. I really like that. Well done, the Black Nothing. That's a very good line. Stopping Kia's boats. I'd never really thought of it like that. Yeah. But it is the most accurate description because this is the Prime Minister who promised there would be no boats crossing, that he would spash the gags. Oh,
spash the gags, yeah. Yeah, the only thing he's done is smash the records, I think, of the numbers coming across.
Well, he has, yes, exactly.
Oh, dear, yeah. Well, as Miro 8933, the authorities don't want to find a solution. Of course they don't. Open borders is their game. This is it. It's far easier to have open borders and then try and pretend you're messing around inside the country when it all turns to SH whatever. It's just easier for them. They don't really care about us anymore. They've got other fish to fry, other agendas to follow. So, yeah.
Do you know what, Jeff?
Yeah, it's not as if the dinghies are in the marina.
Hang on, Jeff. There comes a moment where you want to say, where you really want to say what you should say, but I can't. But anyway, there we go.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So all I could say is it's come to a position where a group of lads can actually go over. I don't know how many have actually been damaged or who's done it, who claims to have done it, who hasn't done it. But I don't know how many have been damaged. But just think about one boat being stopped. That boat could have carried 100 people, these new big ones, over here. Just think of the money that would cost us as a country, that one boat, with 100 people on it, coming here and staying forever. And all the additional stuff that we've got to pay for them. If that's the case, then, yeah, each boat stopped is significant, actually. And the only reason they're not coming across at the moment is because the weather is atrocious. They'll soon be back. As soon as the water's clear and calm, bang, they're back over here. So, yeah.
Well, sorry, I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. No, it's gone. It's gone. No, I mean, that's one of the things that Starmer would do if he wanted to. I mean, his plan, I think, would be... I mean, Starmer's next plan will be not to smash the gags, but to actually... Let's see if we can make the weather a bit worse. And the way we're going to do it is by putting a negative psychic cloud all over the country. Ha, 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 ha. I think you've already done that, you effing numpty. Yeah. So, yeah, if that was going to work... It would have happened by now because the negative cloud of the country. That's why that's why people come to the Jeff Taylor channel. I'll have you know, Mr. Starmer, to get away from your negative cloud. We don't have a negative cloud over us. Okay, maybe sometimes, but we fight and we battle through it. This is what we do here, and yeah.
Well, the only negative cloud we generate is when we utter names like Keir Starmer, Rachel Reeves, Yvette Cooper, David Lammy and the like, you know.
Oh, you just finished me off.
Shabana Mahmood. Exactly, yeah.
Oh, as if this bug wasn't bad enough.
Yeah. Carol Georgina 6114 says that the left kicked off in Germany today. We're going to cover that in a minute. I've got some stuff on that, yeah. So if anyone hasn't heard about that, you just hang around and listen to that, yeah. We'll come on to that in a minute.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty damn harsh what's going on in Germany today. That's bloody incredible.
Yeah. Anyway, so we've sent Dad's army across, have we?
Oh,
Dad's army.
Do you know what, though? Do you know what? I really want... And I'm not joking, Jeff. There's things I really want to say here, but I can't. I'm not allowed to about this whole situation. And it's quite bloody upsetting. That's how effed up Britain is right now. Yeah. I cannot have free speech to say what I want to say right now to you. I can't do it. It's illegal to speak your mind. Yes, I'm part of the Free Speech Union, but at some point you've got to think, okay, then is that going to protect me against everything? I don't know, because this Prime Minister, he is out of control. This government is out of control. We have allowed into Parliament, into government, some of the most dangerous people in our country, literally more dangerous than those people crossing over. Those people crossing over, most of them who are going to potentially or have the potential to do harm, I don't think they're as blessed in the cerebral department as, well, I was going to say David Lammy in government, but then again, I'm not so sure there. I'd take that back. Well, no, he's not that dumb, for goodness sake. He went to university, I think, didn't he, David Lammy? Yes, he did. Was it Oxford?
He went to an American university.
Oh, that's it. It was somewhere anyway. Well, whatever. But the point here is, I think it's very, very scary that we have let these dangerous people into power. Like, these people are crazy. They are ideologically crazy. Communists. Evil communists are in power. And there's people who'll be watching this who are, and I know there's one in particular, who is very left-wing minded. And they'll be looking at the screen and saying, ha, 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 ha. You think communism's evil, you far right. I'm like, just stop right there. You stop right there with that far right nonsense, because it isn't far right. I honestly think there are some people in this country who are so brainwashed, and what has gone on in their minds is so dangerous that they need help. We should. I mean, can we have? Has there ever been a case in time where, in history, where we've actually had Parliament sectioned for their own good? Can we actually have this government sectioned? And not just this government. I mean, other than a few people. Oh, Rupert Lowe. Have you some of the things Rupert Lowe's saying at the moment? I don't know if you received that, Jeff. I sent some stuff onto you, Rupert Lowe. He sent some incredible things over the past few days, revealing the true scale of.
Yeah.
Go on.
I was going to save that for tomorrow, actually, but there you go.
Okay, well, well, maybe not. Well, we could save it till tomorrow, but we could do it a bit on tonight. Oh, who cares? Whatever. I'll leave that to your discretion there, Jeff. Carry on. Over to you. I'm ranting.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you, the Black Nothing. Also, Trump sent our Navy into the Caribbean, and now we don't have a boat problem anymore. A few patrol boats will solve the problem overnight. Yeah, the trouble is, one of the big things here is that we have the English Channel, which has been a moat, has stopped us being invaded, attacked for so long, but now it's actually turned into a liability. And the reason it's a liability is we are now so civilized, we will never, ever, ever let anyone die in the Channel, ever. Even if they put themselves at risk, they put their little toddlers at risk or anything else, if they do that to break the law, and they're in the ocean, we go and rescue them, all of them, every single time. A lot of people are pointing at Trump and saying, look, he's got a border, it's successful, he's harsh. But if international law, and he obeyed it, told him that for between the fence and 12 miles into Mexico, like the Channel, you get the idea, that anyone who fell over and broke their ankle or ran out of water had to be rescued by American forces, then they'd be in the same position. That's where we're at. Anyone whose life is even in the slightest bit of danger in the English Channel has to be rescued because we're civilized. No one dies. So no one dies. They come. I'm not saying we should kill everybody. I'm just pointing out a fact.
Yes, to do with liability. I totally get that. And that's why our RNLI and services are being thrown out there, and why our Navy is also being used to pick people up and bring a border force, I should say, more than anyone, has been used to bring persons into this country that are entering illegally. And you see, again, this is always this. It's a shame. No, it's just a shame that they couldn't be stopped on the beaches, really.
Yeah. Yes, it would help, wouldn't it?
If somebody could, it's just saying.
Thank you, Jonathan Aldrich. A woman who cut my haircut. Okay, a woman who cut my hair called me far right and claimed I was only seeing negative side of Islam. She even claimed Arab countries were diverse in religion. Well, Saudi Arabia is clearly not. Well, Nigeria, they're slaughtering Christians, aren't they? So that's diverse. They're doing the same in Syria, and they're doing the same in various other places. China is another example where Christians are. So that's okay. That's diverse, isn't it? Slaughtering Christians, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, but bringing this specifically onto Islamic nations, look, they are very multicultural, in a kind of monocultural sense. But yes, so they're sort of multicultural, as in a monocultural, monocultural kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you see where I'm coming from. But as we know, look, they're just centers of, they are peaceful nations because Islam is a religion of peace. We know this. We know this. It has proved itself time and time again to be a religion of peace. You just go to Islamic countries and they're peaceful, lovely places, like incredible. You'll find gay pride is celebrated openly in most tolerant Islamic countries. Oh, wait, no. But anyway, aside from that, yes, move on, Jeff, move on.
Yes. Someone points out that the boat started in 2017. Yes, a long time ago, really. We'll say a long time. It seems a long time ago, 8 years. But I remember reading reports back in the early 2000s, just after the turn of the millennium, where there were people entering the country via ferries with their children. And when they got stopped and we were trying to keep them on the ferry or send them back, they would get their offspring and hold them by the leg over the side of the ship. I read about that back then. You can look it up. It was vile back then, and I think this is half the reason why they get ferried over, because of those types of threats that are made. So our people have to say, we've got to take them then. And when the French boats or the French border force, the Navy, try to approach these boats as they're sailing towards us, they get shooed away in no uncertain terms. So the French boats are left with no, they can't move in and do anything because they might sink the boat. Someone might fall in the water. Some child might end up in the water. This is the sort of thing that goes on. Remember reading about all of this. They tried to sugarcoat it now as if they're all running away from violent France or something. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, but, let's go back to, I can't remember what year it was. Good grief. Was it 2014, 2015? When it was horrific. You saw that child, his body was washed up on a beach. I think it was in Italy, wasn't it? I can't remember where that body was washed up. And it was...
Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah, the young kid. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awful. And this was after, of course, trying to cross the channel, not the channel, whichever sea, I think it was the Med, with this child's parents, they were all lost. And of course, that was the I'm afraid to say, the propaganda that was used. And it was a heart-wrenching image. It really was. But anyone can put together something like that. But that was the thing that sparked in the minds of the left and the progressives. But not just that. It was something that triggered a lot of decent people. It duped them into thinking, my goodness, well, we just have to open the borders. Look what then happened to Germany. I mean, my goodness. In many respects, they've had it worse than we have, in many respects. In others, not so much. Very different. We've got more of a sort of settled issue here in terms of... That's another matter. That's another debate for another day. I'm not going to talk about that. Over to you, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks, John Davis, for your contribution. English constitution contains all the rights we need. We just need to claim them and reject and remove Sharia, Muslim MPs, ministers, if not third generation of second English parents, whatever colour. Yeah, this, with the way that international migration is now running, if you want to keep a semblance of your own society and your own community in place, then you've got to slow down this mass race to get everybody in a mishmash now today, here, done. The left, as what Richard pointed out, this kid, and it was propagandized. That was, the left didn't actually care about the kid. They didn't. It was just propagandized. They used that child as a weapon. They weaponized it. So, and that's what they do all the time, just to try and keep this whole open borders agenda going.
And John Davis, yes. Well, John Davis, I'll say this. I couldn't possibly comment for a number of reasons on that. Absolutely. Oh, my days. I'm just reading what you've said. Oh, my days. I couldn't possibly comment. Oh.
Yes, and Mikey B says, I have to go through border security when I come home. Yeah. Come home in a rubber boat.
That's crazy, isn't it? We have to go through border security and checks. These people don't. They just come in. It's like, what the fuck? What really? My father, right, my late father, God rest his soul, he had one of these faces that, he had one of these faces. He'd always get stopped at the airport. He'd always get, wherever, it would always be him that had to be stopped and searched. And, he used to have a laugh and a joke about it, probably because he was the most completely pissed man on the plane. Or on the boat or whatever, on the lorry, not lorry, coach, whatever type of trip we were taking. We used to take these trips across to France ourselves, and on Beb's coaches. Oh, they were fantastic. And he would just get absolutely, my father, honestly, well, both my parents, what am I talking about? They would get beyond pissed. They would be absolutely rock-roaringly drunk. And he then wondered why he'd always be pulled in. I haven't thought of that in years. Sorry. Carry on, Jeff. Yes. Take over.
Yeah, Vanessa Jones says, I bet you both are ready to explode with frustration. Yeah, especially when we get comments like this. People, I just see it. I say it as I see it. If you don't like it, then that's tough.
Just stop hitting people's heads with your, I say, oof, dearie me.
Introduce and Exo Submariner, hello, fellow Submariner. Introduce great white sharks into the channel. I'm not sure how many sharks. I'm not sure about the shark population.
No, we can't have white sharks. White sharks would be, that would be racist, wouldn't it? Having great whites.
Racist.
Yeah. We're going to have great they-them sharks in the channel, and gender-neutral sharks with their teeth taken out, just in case their teeth cause offence to anybody in the channel. Perhaps we'll have sharks with dentures. Yeah, with rainbow flags tied around them. That's the way to sort this problem out. I'm telling you, it's very easy.
Is it?
Very easy. Yes.
And thank you, the Black Nothing. Last one. That's the last comment from you, I believe. Communism is anti-God. That is why it cannot succeed in any fashion. God commanded that Adam would eat the fruits of his labour. Commies say you'll never labour and still eat. Slothfulness. Yes, absolutely. Isn't it strange how they say someone else will pay for your food and someone else will make sure you don't have to work hard and you don't have to work at all, in fact, because this government is the true epitome of that, isn't it? Sit around, and if you have the slightest thing wrong with you, you can get pipped for life, whatever it is, I don't know, benefits and stuff. A lot of these people don't need it. Some do. Don't get me wrong. Some do, but
definitely.
I'm sure it's not as many as.
But pips is not the problem. The pips is it's just a nothing. The real problem that we have right now, we know exactly what it is. We are We don't talk enough, I don't think, you see, Jeff, about the real issue we have as well with these seaside towns. I mean, these hotels, was it 30-something odd thousand people who have crossed the channel illegally and are now living in these hotels? What's that doing to the local communities in terms of the tourism trade and the impact on the economy therein, of the local economies? It's going to absolutely, and the knock-on effect is you can't, everything, it's like, you flick one domino over and another one hits another one, and then they spread out. It's awful, Jeff, honestly. Many seaside towns are destroyed. Look at Ireland. I think it's Wexford, I think. Good luck getting a hotel there. Oh, was it Waterford? Wexford, I think. Yeah, Wexford. Good luck getting a hotel there because you can't, because they're all taken up by newcomers. And those people aren't even entering, many of them illegally. They're just coming across on ferries or flying in. They're thinking, how the hell? I mean, Ireland's got some serious problems. Yeah. Oh, so have we all. Oh, Jeff, I'm turning into a dark cloud, and I'm thunderstorming all over this channel tonight.
Yes. Yes.
Come on, someone cheer me up. Come on, someone in the comments, say something that'll amuse me for a moment.
Oh, actually, let's have a look at the poll. The poll is 97% yes for Brits going across to help stop the boats, to deal with them, as I put it. That's 97. So there's 3% of the viewers think that we shouldn't be doing anything like that at all. I'm wondering if that's the 3% who think we should be laying on ferries from France for all. Yes.
No. I think that. I mean, stopping the boats. I mean, one of the things that potentially that Danny's on about doing, and these other people who are going out to stop the boats, is actually just sitting there and doing a silent protest. I don't think there's any specificity in how they intend to stop the boat. So, it's like when people say that this is illegal and vigilantism. Well, maybe it's not at all. Maybe it's just a peaceful kind of demonstration. There are many people who have come across into the United Kingdom recently who have gone to our capital city of London, right? And other capital cities as well, like Edinburgh and Cardiff and Belfast, and protested from other countries for Gaza. Okay? Many people have done that. People have flown in from all over the world to protest for Gaza in London. What the why? Why? Why can't you do it in your own country? And why do you have to come to London to do it? What's London got to do with Gaza? Really? Yeah. Oh, but we're trading, selling things to, blah, blah, to Israel. Oh, shut up, for goodness sake. We're selling. Everybody is selling to everyone. Don't think that in the Middle East people aren't selling to Israel either. Oh, no. Oh, no. Do you go and protest against that, though? No, I didn't think so. There we go.
No, I mean, they're out in London today, aren't they? Doing the same thing. So it's still ongoing, even though we've got a peace deal. I know there's been a few problems with it. There's a peace deal coming. But these people who are still protesting today in London have made it absolutely clear there is only one way they're going to stop, and that is when Israel is destroyed completely and utterly. Nothing else will do. So even if there's a peace deal between Gaza and Israel, which stops the violence, Hamas is taken out from the equation, which I don't think is ever going to happen because they haven't even started. They've not even talked about handing their weapons in. But if that ever did happen, the marches would still continue in London. They would just go on and on and on because Israel still exists. And we need to realise their mindset. We need to understand that. And we need to stop them and tell them just to go away. Anyway.
I mean, that's what a lot of people in the Middle East think. Just one last thing. That's what a lot of people in the Middle East think. A lot of the countries in the Middle East want nothing to do with Palestine and Gaza. That's a fact. Wonder why that is. Jordan's not that happy with them. Egypt definitely isn't. Has completely shut the border. Doesn't want anything to do with them. In fact, how many of the neighbouring countries in the Middle East, the Muslim countries, are taking in these Palestinian refugees? How many? Let me think. Oh. Oh dear. Sorry, Jeff. Move
Yes.
on. Come on, Jeff.
Sorry,
Let's get going. I know you want to.
Jonathan Aldrich says, speaking of Ireland, in Northern Ireland, Ballymena has just erupted again. Yeah, I saw that.
Well,
it's
yeah.
it's
I
these
thought that would
things happen when humans are humans, and they like to have their communities, and they like them to be stable. What they don't like is governments coming in and saying, you will not be stable, you will comply, you will do as you're told. They don't like it. So, yeah. Anyway, in Germany, there are reports that left-wing violence is on the rise. I always thought they were the most violent group anyway, especially while they're tied up with extreme Islamists, which seems to be de rigueur at the moment. And today, DW.com reports that police clashed with so-called anti-fascist protesters in the city of Meissen, where the AfD was founding a new youth wing called Generation Deutschland. And the reason they've had to come up with a new youth wing called Generation Deutschland was the result of the previous AfD youth wing, the Young Alternative, being shut down after German intelligence services called it extremist. So they shut it down and they brought in a new one. And just a couple of days ago, The Guardian was reporting this.
Oh, wait a sec, Jeff. With the Guardian reporting that Nigel Farage was influenced by it as a child? Is that what they're saying? Because that's what, if you remember David Lammy's comments about him being into the Hitler Youth. Like, what you absolutely stupid man. And I'm sorry if I've misgendered you, Mr. Lammy, but whatever you wish to identify as. And incidentally as well, these people who are going out to France, it's like I put it on the thumbnail, it's British Patriots on the headline, whichever. That's because they choose to identify as patriots. I'm not saying they're true patriots, but you can't say they're not patriots. You can't tell people what they can and cannot identify as these days. I will have you know. Oh, no. Sorry. Jeff, over to you. Sorry, let's read this out from The Guardian.
Yeah, so this is The Guardian. They talk about this particular event. A couple of days ago, they're talking about it. 7 alleged members of the German far-left militant group Antifa Ost go on trial on Tuesday, accused of attacks targeting right-wing extremists that earned them the nickname Hammer Gang. The US this month designated Antifa Ost as a terrorist group, along with several other European far-left and anarchist groups. But listen to the way The Guardian frames it. Antifa Ost go on trial on Tuesday, accused of attacks targeting right-wing extremists. So it's the left, the extremists. They're the violent extremists. Oh dear, it's just typical left-wing double think, double speak, whatever you want to call it. They're just completely removed from reality. You know, in any other thing, they'd be saying this group of peaceful people was attacked by a violent mob. You know. Oh dear, I don't know what to make of these people.
It's all double think, double speak. Yeah. Again, like with these boats. I mean, so these boats are going to potentially cross over the channel illegally, potentially are not seaworthy, potentially don't have a qualified person at the rudder or the tiller, whatever you call it. The rudder, is it? Yes, Jeff? Yeah, whatever you mentioned earlier.
Tiller.
And yet the people who potentially could be disposing of these craft could be breaking the law. I mean, it's like, what? You know, this whole double speak, double think thing of just distorted morality. That's what we have, distorted. It's hideous. Bloody hideous, Jeff.
Yes, as Christendom Defender says, AfD is defending Germany. Yeah, the trouble is, though, that defending your home country these days is racist, bigoted, nasty. because you're meant to believe in open borders. You're meant to believe that everybody's equal. And when you're meant to believe in the Migration Compact, the UN thing that we signed up to, which means that when people come here, they get everything they need to start a new life at your cost in this country. That's what you're meant to believe in. Anything else is nasty. So waving that flag, you can wave a Palestinian flag, that's fine. That's okay. It's a mythical country anyway, doesn't exist, hasn't got a border, hasn't got a government, but we've recognised it. The UK has recognised Palestine, which doesn't exist. It has no border, has no defined border. It's got two governments. One of them's a terrorist organisation that has been banned by our own government. Yes? But it can't defend, you can't wave the flag of the country you live in, which has a defined border, has been around for hundreds of thousands of years and all the rest of it. What a ridiculous, absolute shit show this all is.
Yes, but you're meant to believe, never mind you're meant to believe in open borders and all that, you're meant to also believe that the dominant culture is inferior in the West, and you are meant to believe that it is right to destroy it. You are meant to believe that there is no place for, there is no such thing as the British or the English race or the Scottish race, the Irish, Welsh races. Okay, all right, once upon a time, everybody in Britain was Welsh, but that's another story for another time, and it winds Jeff up, and I love seeing that purple vein go up on his forehead when I talk about it. But anyway, but there's no room for the Swedish, the Norwegian races, the white European races. No room for it. That's what you're supposed to believe. But there is obviously a homeland, of course, for people in Palestine, for the Palestinians, of course, even though there's no such place. But that has to be, as you said, Jeff, it has to be a homeland for them. I mean, Pakistan, and in India and many other countries, we don't want colonialism there. Absolutely not. We need to kick it out. So that's what happened. Yes, they kicked. The British left, and those countries were restored to their previous glories, shall we say? And the same goes for many other countries. Yeah, except for Western countries, of course, especially Britain. And if you're English, oh my goodness, you're at the bottom of the pile, sir. Bottom of the pile.
Yes, absolutely.
Makes me sick.
Yes.
Makes me sick.
As the triggered Christian says, open borders and yet we lock doors at night. Yeah, isn't it strange that the chances of someone actually breaking into your house are very, 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 very low? Well, they are in most areas. There are some areas where it's very, 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 very high, but most areas it's very low. And if you were to see a line of cars down a street and you were to stand there and watch all day, I bet you wouldn't see any person walking past the cars trying all the door handles to see if they could nick one. So, but we still lock our cars, don't we? Lock our windows, guard our, and all the rest of it. But there's a chance that people can get in this country and do great harm, and we don't want to protect the borders because that would be bigoted and racist. When people come into this country to pursue those sorts of activities, we must let them because it's their culture. What a ridiculous sort of way to think about things. Neil Pike says Christians are too weak to stand up. No, this is a thing that's happened over the last, 100 years, where people have been told, oh, it always says turn the other cheek, don't fight back, don't do this. You have to be a carpet, a welcome mat for everybody, and they can just kill you, walk over you because you're a Christian. No,
well,
that's not true.
Hang on, there's a little bit of truth to this. No, there's a bit of truth to this. Just in terms, wait a second. When you actually look at many of the Protestant countries, you will find that they have suffered worse at the hands of an influx of a certain demographic than non-Protestant countries, especially countries which are Orthodox and also Catholic. In general, this is. It's quite interesting. I was watching a program the other day. I thought, oh, that's interesting, and it's all down to the sort of was it Martin Luther? Yes, I believe there was that big invasion was coming through of persons of a certain demographic, and he was like, quite welcoming to them right up until there was the potential that he could actually get hurt and his country could get hurt. So let's just say the armies of Europe or one particular nation stood up and prevented that from happening. There we go, Jeff.
Yes. Thank you, A. Fenner, who says that out of Europe that allowed diversity, I think Sweden ended up the worst. Yeah, the stories that were coming out of Sweden,
horrific.
I think, and still do. I think it's just
it's gone. It's finished. It's finished.
It's one of these things where it's just normal now, and I just wonder what's going to happen there. It's awful, absolutely awful what happened there. Did it to themselves, and we're doing it to ourselves, I suppose. It's up to us. It's not up to anyone else. It's up to us.
No, it's up to our government, and we trust them. Don't forget that.
No, it's up to us now, I'm afraid.
No, our government
they love us. To do as we tell them.
yes. No,
yes,
no,
I know
you.
Yeah, Richard's playing the algorithm game here.
No, I'm not. No, it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. The Starmer loves us. He will defend us. I mean, if he didn't, that would be awful. He'd actually be a liar and letting us down in that case. Can't be true. Can't be true. Won't have it.
Yes, but there you go. Well, here's some good news. I Want to Be a Smurf says we will win in the end. I do think so, but I just want to dodge the bit where people fight. That's what I want to dodge. Just want us to win without having to resort to that.
Yes, well, that's what we keep pushing.
That's going to be the hard bit, to be honest. So what's this? Jeff, you're my granddad's double. How can I send a pic? That's from Pauline Mitchison. There is an email address on the YouTube channel, but yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking through. Oh, Rise Up Smurfs. Yes. What colour are Smurfs? They're blue, aren't they?
Yes.
They were
Do you
blue.
remember that guy
Smurfs are blue, aren't they?
Did anybody see that chap? Oh, good grief. He drank too much of that colloidal silver and he turned into an actual human Smurf. Yeah. Hang on. No, this is serious.
That was an April the 1st thing, wasn't it?
No. Serious. This is genuine. This guy was on TV. Yeah, I'm just doing a Daily Record here now. I'm gonna have to send this if I can do this screenshot. Hang on. Can I
do a screenshot and put it up?
Yeah, just look. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We are totally degenerating in our conversation, but I mean,
yes.
When it comes to no, actually, I can't do that one. I can't. Put that up.
Done right.
Yeah. There's a reason, a copyrighted reason for that. Oh, bugger. Right, let's see if I can find another one. Let's find something here. Keep going, Jeff. I'll be with you.
Right, I'm just gonna check this one out. Yeah, this is a good point from Jonathan Aldridge. For our constitution to remain, a civil war must not happen because that would be the means to replace all constitutional laws with new ones. Yeah, that's and in the American Civil War, their constitution, and all the rest of it, their amendments, free speech, right to bear arms, that all came out because they had a full-on revolution. Lots of people died, and they were able to wipe the slate clean and start all over again. And there is a body of thought out there that's saying that maybe that's what we need to do now.
Yeah,
That's what it brings with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look.
Could you imagine, ladies and gentlemen? I'm sorry, but if we had to rewrite the Constitution, we might not end up with a constitutional monarchy with King Charles in charge.
Oof! I say, can't be having that. No, can we? No.
No.
Yeah. I do wonder what this country would be like if we. I wonder how far someone like Starmer would push if we did have the right to bear arms. Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Anyway, I can't find an image I can use of that.
Don't worry.
Chap, so
don't worry.
Yeah, but he's real.
John Davis, thank you very much. Yeah. Waiting for our English white hats, a coup to act. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure if they'd be organised enough to do that, to be honest, or if there's that many.
I was
but there you
just
go.
Watching some videos earlier. Some people social commentators are talking about the potential of a military coup in the United Kingdom.
That's what
overtaking.
I think that's what John is on about. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, no, that's it. And I'm wondering if that will happen. If it does, it just goes to show how far democracy has fallen in this country, and how it is not to be trusted when certain people enter into government. You have to wonder about the system itself that allowed such people into government.
Yeah. Neil Pike says, imagine if the farmers stood with us instead of only for themselves. I think you're doing a bit of a disservice there. They do tend to think of themselves, I mean, their lives revolve around their farm and all the rest of it, and it's a bit of a back-breaking job. So I think their concentration is right now at trying to survive themselves, and no one seems to be helping them.
Yeah. It's more than that.
It's a very difficult situation. It's a very difficult situation. I wouldn't
want
more than
that,
to
Jeff.
give them a hard time about that. Yeah.
No, but we talked about it yesterday. When the farmers every time the farmers decide to descend on London, it costs them dearly. Costs a lot of money, for instance, in fuel for them to get to London in those tractors. Time away from the farm. They don't just go out there for a jolly. Every time a farmer goes to protest, it's serious. And at some point, if the government doesn't listen, something catastrophic is going to happen, I believe. And the thing is, I sort of get the point, why didn't they come out with the United Kingdom movement so much? Well, because they wanted to keep it very much focused on necessity at the time. If the United Kingdom movement had, I don't know, pushed more of a farming agenda, maybe, that could have happened, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah.
But when they do act, they're going to have to do it decisively.
Now, PK is a pack says, Israel is blackmailing American and British royals and government.
Is that a reference to the Epstein? I've heard this, but there are other schools of thought as well linked with Epstein and his potential to have been part of some other, being controlled by somebody else, not Israel. And we're not necessarily talking in terms of governments here. This whole thing, this concept, we get stuck in this mindset that, it's Israel, it's Russia, it's China, it's the US, CIA, it's Britain, MI5. No, they're just the front end. They're the front end, okay? What's going on in the back end? Now, I believe that Epstein was controlled from a bit higher up, we'll say, than just governments. There are supranational corporations, for instance, that have far more power and wealth than governments. So there's a lot to be considered here. Yes, but good point. Good thing to there is definitely blackmailing going on of royals and politicians just to compromise them. That's easy. I mean, that's what happens within the higher echelons of certain secret societies. Compromise. It's part of the system of control.
Yes, it's the CIA says the original OSOC. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I blame the Amish, says Mesolier.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, Jeff, we got a good one here. Vixter, fill up your churches. The Muslims buy up the churches that is not active here in America and build in their mosques. It started in 2020 when churches were closed due to the pandemic, all planned. Well, I have to say, fill up the churches. That's number one. That's the first thing we need to do in this country, is to do that. That's the overriding thing we have to do in Britain. And there's a lot of churches in this country now which are mosques. That's happened here. It's a hideous thing to see, but it's happening, and it's very sad. I'm not going to actually pick on Islam today, but I will say this. Do you know, at some point, what I'll say basically is, we need to stop looking at Islam, all these other religions. We need to start saying, why aren't we in church? Why aren't we filling the churches? And I'm a bit of a hypocrite here. I need to get to church myself a lot more as well. You know, I'm usually quite busy doing stuff in the background for this. Jeff manages to get himself to church, but I need to get to church more as well. There's no excuses anymore for any of us. We need to fill those seats in those pews. And I get it. Oh my goodness, I get it. The Church of England right now, it's not in a good shape. It's not any place I want to be seen. So you don't go there, you go somewhere else. You go and find, and if that doesn't work, you keep traveling, you find a church which isn't woke and isn't completely fallen. Find the right church, get in there. Find a church which preaches the word of God. And it helps if it's got apostolic lineage as well, incidentally. Over to you, Jeff.
Right. Yeah, sorry. Crusader Paul says, Satan runs it all now. We don't want Jesus, so we deserve Satan. At the end of the day, if you leave a power vacuum or a religious vacuum, something fills it. And that's what's happening right now. Just look around you. Just look around you at what's happening. Religion isn't gone. Religion hasn't disappeared. It's just being changed with the help of the authorities.
Well, the first thing that goes, I've noticed, when the church goes, is families go. The family becomes devalued, worthless. The concept of this whole thing. I remember somebody used to talk to me about I used to run down this over-romanticized nuclear family. It's like, well, you do need to have a family. You do need that family. You need to have a family which eats together, and it's not something I find easy, is eating with my family, that's for sure. But yeah, eats together, laughs together, loves together, and stands by each other. And that's what families are meant to do, but that's not always the case, is it? So, yeah, it's such a shame. That's why you need to get to church, and that's where things are mended.
Yes. Yeah, actually, it's quite funny. Richard pointed to me a video the other day on a website. It's had millions of views, and it's all about architecture from 100 years ago or 200 years ago compared to architecture today, just down to lampposts in London and things like that made back in the day were beautiful constructions. And I look at the churches we've got, beautiful constructions. Anything built recently as a church is just a prefab building that you can put anything in. And it almost looks like a warehouse. And this particular video showed a fantastic inside of this glorious building, and I thought, girl, that's fantastic. And he said, oh, this is the Houses of Parliament. And I thought, yeah, it must be. Then he said, no, it's not. It's a sewer in London built in the 1800s. It was a sewer pump house. It looked more like an art gallery, didn't it, Richard?
Oh, it's stunning. It's absolutely breathtaking building. But that's the way things were. You can see why some people get very interested in the Tartarian mud flood theories and all that, which I enjoyed reading some of those things myself. I mean, I look at these old Victorian buildings and I look at the and you see you go to, there's like a bank near where I live, and when you go past it, you notice that there's windows at floor level. I'm thinking, who would build a building like that? Why would you build a building so that water could go from the street level? Street level, I should have said. Street level straight into the basement. Doesn't make any sense. So as for these Tartarian mud flood theories, it's like, oh, that's interesting. I'm not saying I don't know what I think on all that. And by the way, somebody has just informed me of Wales's massive success in the rugby. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Was this Wales 0, Springbok 73? 0. That can't be right. I'm just going to double check the score on this. No, you don't know that,
While
Jeff.
you're doing that, I'll say, Jonathan Aldridge, thank you. I believe in freedom of conscience. What I don't accept is faiths imposing themselves on others. And that's a big thing. I choose to go to church. It's not imposed upon me. In fact, it's quite a struggle for me to do it. But I go and I make the big effort to do it. Yes, the Church of England has been part of English culture since the 7th century at best. Yeah, I mean, the Church of England is, as I've said before, it's Henry VIII, wasn't it? You know, want to go bonk about a bit, get rid of Rome because they're stopping me, and we'll have our own church so I can bonk about a bit. And,
I'm not so sure. I think, I don't know. I think that church should be, that's it. Okay, church should be put into context, okay? This is a battle for your soul, your eternal soul, your immortal soul. It's also a place where you go to get well spiritually. So that's another thing. So it's a difficult one. I don't know. I see where you're coming from, Jonathan Aldridge, and I don't know how I fully feel about it, to be honest with you. Should it? Obviously, I mean, there's a huge component if you believe in predestination as well. So there's a lot to that. I'll have to have a think on that one. Anyway, I'm just noticed a complete total editorial lie in the Daily Telegraph that backs up what Edward has said here, that Wales 0, Springboks 73 in the rugby. I cannot believe it. Once again, I'm afraid there's been another catastrophic error in reporting of the truth in the papers. I think it's the other way around. I think you'll find it's Wales 73, Springboks 0.
This is Richard Verify. Richard
Quiet,
Verify.
Biggie. Quiet, Biggie.
And thank you, Yam's Physical Catalogue of Media. Good moaning. Any chance of a cup of Kiffy? And that comes from Allo Allo. That's the police officer speaking. Good moaning. Yes.
Yeah.
And thank you, A. Fenner. It's amazing how buildings look better back then before we had the modern tech, and no, buildings look awful now. Yes, they do in comparison, and they don't last as long either. Do you think anything that built past the, I don't know, the 80s or 90s is going to be around as long as the, the St. Paul's Cathedral or anything like that, or any of those old Victorian houses that still stand, made just sturdily and all the rest of it.
Forget that. I was looking at some, some of these statues that have been created. You look at the craftsmanship. You're like, that's just impossible. That is absolutely impossible to achieve. And you look, especially in Egypt, some of the statues. I think it was made of rose granite. I think it is. I can't remember the name of it. It's something like the third hardest stone, with the hardest being diamond or whatever. And you see the intricacy of muscle tone, and you think, how did they do that? Oh, of course, it was with a copper bloody chisel and a rock. Bang, bang, bang. Yes, of course it was. Yes, that's how we did everything. Copper chisel, and if we didn't have that, we just used lots of rocks, and we kept hitting it until it came up with the desired effect. That's right. Yes, that's how the pyramids were built, with copper chisels and stones and ropes and pulleys and hundreds of thousands of slaves or whatever, or highly skilled workmen. Yeah, no, something else was going on there. You see, you look at Baalbek, the size of the blocks there, and you go, no, sorry. Whatever explanation you're going to give me is going to be woefully inadequate.
It was some chap with a whip and a few donkeys to deal with that. Come on.
Yeah, okay.
And Yam's Physical Catalogue of Media, thank you again. Do you think it's safe to take the flu jab? Of course.
Well, do you know what? Right? Do you know what?
Yeah.
I would never say anything. Of course, it's very safe. Always safe and effective. Everything's safe and effective. I'll have everything's safe and effective. It's like if I stick this blue pen in my ear, that'll be safe and effective as well. Yes. For what? I don't know. There we go. Right then, Jeff. Anyway, I think we've rabbited on enough here. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I do hope that you have liked this video. If you have not pressed the like button on this video, then shame be upon thee for 10 generations. Shame be upon thee and thine offspring. Now, so click that like button now. There you go. No, I'm not going until you do. Come on. That's it. Thank you. Okay, so you press the like button. Now, if you're not a channel member, oh my goodness, the curses that be upon thee, you shall not sleep at night in worrying about them. But no, in all seriousness, please press the subscribe button and choose the all option. And if you really do enjoy what Mr. Jeff Taylor has achieved here in this channel and my own interferences, then become a channel member. That's the gold-plated. You're Jeff Taylor channel member. Oh, you can say that. You can say that in high society. I'm telling you. You can go up to lords and they say, so what's your lord? Or I'm Lord. I don't know, Bristol, whatever. I'm Lord Bristol. Oh, really? Well, I'm a Jeff Taylor channel member. Oh, good grief! Pleased to meet you, sir. Pleased to meet you. You know, that's the kind of response you're going to get. Never mind getting a knighthood or a damehood. Become a channel member. All for the price of a pint of beer in a London pub or a coffee in Covent Garden. There you go. Right. Over to you, Jeff.
Thank you very much, Richard, for all your support. And I would just say it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him. It's goodbye from the legend that is Mr. Jeff Taylor. Goodbye.